All right, welcome to One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra. So glad you guys are joining us tonight. Hey, we've got some pretty cool people on here, and no, I'm not talking about Jay, but I'm going to go ahead and bring him on anyway. So let's get him on here. I just really like your intro. I don't know. I wish you would do something for me. How you doing?
I'm doing real good. Hey, I'm not the producer, the director.
Okay.
You handle all of that duty, and I'm so happy you do. You just asked me to bring the energy and the fun, so that's what I try to bring. Dad, thank you. It is a very nice intro.
You could give me some snow when it's snow starts coming down there in Colorado. We can change it from smoke to snow. We can do that if you want. How about you shoveling out your car? How's that?
I don't want to talk about snow yet. The summer air is turning fall as we speak, so I know the snow's around the corner.
Hey, you know what? I know you're ready to jump right into this, but before we do that, I want to do a quick promo for what's going on this weekend. So let's do that, and then we'll come back on, and you will introduce our guests. How's that?
Sounds great.
All right. Hey, guys, I just want to remind you real quick, this Saturday, August 28th, out at the Jefferson City J.C. Fairgrounds, we have Aaron Schuss coming to town for Redemption Inside the Walls. Make sure you get your tickets and join us out there. It's going to be an amazing concert. I've had great conversation, as well as he was on the program here. And I just wanted to remind you, he is introducing a new song for the very first time at our concert. So make sure that you're there. Also, we've got Redemption Worship United with Heidi Neely. We have the Fisher Good Samaritan Awards that we will be presenting. There's 5 winners for that, as well as we have other people there that we will recognize. And then another really cool thing, we have the Special Learning Center. They're going to help us with the national anthem. Make sure that you get out there this Saturday at Redemption Inside the Walls at the Jeff City J.C.'s Fairgrounds. Wow, I just did all that, and I'm going to take you right back to Jay. Here we go. Woo! Now
Dad,
your turn.
You do a great job. But I tell you what, I'm excited. If you weren't watching, go back and watch. We just saw a bunch of highlights of the Eldon Mustang. And boy, howdy, I saw Caroline Beckmann jumping all over that court, leaping, flying, you name it. That is tonight's guest, Caroline Beckmann, all-star athlete. When you start reading about her accomplishments and all of the achievements, I'm reading there and I thought, man, what an outstanding high school career. That's awesome. And then I realized she's just now a senior. She's got one more year left, folks. Well, let me just tell you, Caroline Beckmann and the Eldon Mustangs dominated last year. Their whole team did something that Eldon had done since 1996, and that was win a district championship. Caroline is a 3-year varsity starter and a 1-year co-captain of the Lady Mustangs. She achieved all district, all conference, and all state honors. She was also named the most outstanding player of the Tri-County Conference, and she was recognized nationally, making the 2020 American Volleyball Coaches Association Phenom list. She was also the AVCA's Missouri Player of the Week and made Prep Volleyball's Fall American Special Mentions list. We haven't even started talking about track yet. She's also a 4-time state medalist, where she competes in shocking, the high jump, long jump, triple jump, and then she just throws in the 4x400 for giggles. After you jump that much, why not run a bunch too? She also holds the Eldon High triple jump record, which used to belong to her Aunt Reagan's, but she beat that. And that she also is a part of the 4x400 meter relay team's record as well. Holy smokes! Have I mentioned that she's just now a senior?
You did.
Boom!
You did.
Boom! Man! Tonight she will be joined by her mother, Jessica Beckmann, who is the clinical director and physical therapist for Peak Sport and Spine out in Eldon, Missouri. One Nation, I'm excited for you guys to meet this young woman. Dad, bring her on. Let's go.
Yeah, before we, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. How are you all doing? Good. Thanks for joining us.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey,
Yes, we're doing great.
Good. I wanted to point out something real quick. Jay, how old were you in 1996
In 1996,
when they won their
I would
last
have
district
been
championship?
7 years old.
Wow. So, do you remember all
Dan,
that?
how old were you in
I'm not even
1996?
counting. Forget that. All right. Hey, we're so glad to have you guys on here. Thanks for being here. And wow, that's a bunch of good stuff that Jay was talking about there, Caroline.
Yes, I know. It's some crazy stuff. I forget about it sometimes.
Well, why don't you go ahead and jump right in and tell us a little bit about winning that first district championship in 25 years, almost 25 years.
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy. I mean, for some schools, winning a district championship is nothing. They do it every year. Winning states, what they're focused on. But for us, that was such a big achievement. Um, when Melinda Wright Washington was our coach our first year, that was one of our goals that we actually made within the first couple weeks of her coaching was to eventually win a district championship. And just to get out there and actually do it was just awesome.
That's great. I'm feeling a little left out here, guys. Jay's mom just came on. You have your mom on, Caroline, and where's my mom? I want to know where is my mom?
Grandma Peaches, come
Yeah,
on.
where's she at? All right, that is outstanding. I know you guys had you had a lot of fun doing that too, didn't you?
Oh my gosh, yes. That district game was one of the most fun games that I think I've ever played of volleyball in my life. Just like the crowd, the atmosphere, the whole town of Eldon was there, which isn't very big, but in that gym it looked pretty big. So just having so many people there supporting us, and our student section was crazy, and yeah, we just really took over that Osage gym, and we were very proud of that.
Yeah, you guys, even we saw in the video that you tried to make the best out of a difficult situation last year with COVID, where you guys actually made a little video of each of you at your different places hitting the ball. And did anybody hit the
Yes.
camera? Anybody hit the camera? I just want to know.
I have no clue. I should have asked that. I know my brother was tossing me balls, and he was not very happy that he had to do that, but I tried to hit him a couple times, but
Hold the phone, hold the phone. My mom is here. Hey,
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 Grandma
mom.
Peaches.
All right, very good, very good. Okay, sorry. I was just feeling left out. Jay, continue.
Oh, Dad, you are so silly. Caroline, in your article for Sports Blocker Magazine, which, by the way, is a very awesome article, so go in there and check that out. That was from Paige Smith, and that is an awesome article. So get that magazine and check it out. It's great. You talk about some of the influences that you've had in developing your love for volleyball. Tell us about that and how they influenced you.
yeah, so volleyball has always been a part of my life. I can't remember a time when it wasn't. My aunt obviously had a lot of influence on me growing up. Everyone would tell me how great of a volleyball player she was, and so I was just like, well, I want that to be me too. I remember when I was younger, she would always tell me that throughout her high school and college career, how she wish she would have pushed herself harder, pushed herself further, to be an even better athlete, to go to that next level. Um, I understand some people are naturally talented, and to have the guts to push beyond that is pretty challenging sometimes. And so she just encouraged me ever since I was little to, even if I didn't think I had any more room to improve, that I always could.
Is that
So
the
I had,
same aunt that you broke the record?
yes.
Did she tell you to stop pushing? All right, that's enough. Slow it
No,
down.
she did not.
No,
Uh,
I bet she was very proud.
Yes, she was very, very happy for me. That was a good
I
day.
think, yeah, I think that's cool. When I was reading about that, I just thought, well, it's in the blood. I tell you what, they can jump. It's in the blood. That's good.
The interesting thing about it being in the blood, I've told this before, is that I always tried to beat my dad in a foot race, and I mean he beat me over and over and over again, and pretty much ran you to the ground. And then the day I finally beat him, that was the last time he would ever race me. He was like, I was like, come on, let's go again. He's like, nope, I'm done. Like, I didn't even get to relish or bask in that glory for very long at all. Jay, what about you? Did you? I mean, are you doing that with your kids, or are you being a good dad?
Oh, right now I'm just dominating them. One
I
day
thought so.
when
Yeah.
they beat me, I agree. I will probably just back off. That does bring up a good point. Caroline, did you ever have a jump off with your aunt?
I did not. I should have.
Yeah, still can. Come on now.
Yeah, next time I see her.
Come on, Aunt Reagan, show us what you got. Come
Yeah.
on.
She
Oh,
she
yeah.
might be calling you, Jay.
Sorry,
All right.
bad idea.
Jessica, I know Jay's got a question for you, so we're going to have him switch on over to you. Again, thanks for joining us tonight and being here with Caroline.
Yeah.
All right, Jessica. Talk about the process that you've seen with Caroline over the years. What did you see from when she first picked up a volleyball to where she's at today?
So it's been a great process to kind of be on the sidelines to enjoy and watch her over the years. We could tell at a young age that volleyball was going to be one of her better sports. She just had a natural love of the game and just could really pick up the different aspects and had great court awareness and understood the game and really could play any position on the court that her team needed her to play. I know she was one of the first ones in her grade to be able to jump serve, and I always encouraged her to do that a little bit more. But she hasn't normally been one that really wanted to stick out. She wants to do great things, but she also wants to always feel like everyone on the court is important and that she'll do what she needs to do to help the team win, but she also knows that it's not just about her. I will say that you talked about my sister Reagan quite a bit, and there are times that I feel like I'm living with her all over again. So it's a really good thing that we're so close and such good friends. But you should know that Caroline's dad was an all-state basketball player, all-state high jumper, and did both of those sports in college. So we probably need to give him a little bit of the genetic credit. But I'll take credit for her brain because she's a pretty good student athlete first, and we always try to stress that the classroom is just as important as the court.
That's right. And speaking of her dad, sports courts, in that video, it looked like you were hitting a ball from one of those courts. Is that where
I
you're going
was.
from? Yeah.
Yes,
Man.
that is in my backyard.
I know. I would have loved to have had that growing up. So we'll talk about that a little bit more later. So,
Alright.
hey, I want to tell you guys real quick before JD goes into the next question. We have Daniel Hart, Helen Adrian, Tracy Oswald, Eddie Whipple, Richie Jenkins, Scott Bird, Deborah Leffert, and of course Jay's mom, my mom, and we have a few others who are watching. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any comments or have any questions, feel free to jump on and let us know, and we'll try to get it on there. Jay, next one, sir.
All right. Speaking of your family, we know you have a very close-knit family. Tell us, this is for you, Caroline. Tell us about your mom, dad, and brother. What are some valuable things that you've learned from them, and why are those relationships so important to you? And I'll include, trying to hit that volleyball at your brother. That's good.
Yeah, so my family is so supportive. I'm so blessed that I was able to be born into such a loving family. Like I said, everyone's so supportive. My parents would do anything to come and make sure that they get to see my games, watch me run track. Same with my brother. Ever since he was little, he's been drugged around to our club tournaments and stuff, which I'm sure he hates sitting in a gym full of volleyball players uh, for a Saturday night and a Sunday night. But, like he did it. He shut up and sat down and watched me play and cheered me on. I mean, sometimes he was playing video games, but that's okay. He was still there. It's the thought that counts sometimes. But yeah, my family is so supportive. I mean, we all try to do the same with each other. It's not just everyone go watch Caroline's games, but ignore Jalen. Like, we all support each other so much. And, being so close, living in such a small town where it's easy to be close, not only with my brother, my mom, and my dad, but with my grandparents living close too. Like, everyone's able to love and support on each other. And it's really nice to know that you've got that family right there with you.
Yes, that is very good. Jay didn't want to be close to me, so he moved the entire family to Colorado. So that tells you a lot right there, doesn't it? But you were talking about being close. Speaking of being close, you guys are not far from where our first sponsor is. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that up here just to kind of taunt Jay a little bit because he really wants to try this, and you guys are close enough. You might have even tried it. So here is the Dairy Barn, and we're going to bring that on here real quick. Well, Jay, sorry. I know you want to try that.
It just makes me super hungry. Don't be
I
sorry.
know. I know.
I can't wait till I get down there in October. I'm coming.
At least I wasn't taunting you with the other commercial on that. So I removed that part where I was taunting you. So we'll do that. Hey, we appreciate Diesel Power Plus, the Dairy Barn, Ashley, and Delton Rissler for their sponsorship. Jay's wearing the hat. We appreciate them so much for sponsoring this program, and they do a lot for that community as well as all throughout mid-Missouri. And I mean, you saw not long ago we were doing the tractor pulling, and they go around to those tractor pulls every single weekend. So I don't even know how they do it. It's constantly busy, but again, we want to thank them for all that they do. Speaking of thanking for all that they do, Jessica, thank you for all that you do for student athletes and people all throughout mid-Missouri, trying to get them back in shape. And you had to do a little bit of that with Caroline this last year. Can you kind of talk a little bit about her injury and the process that you went through there?
Sure. So kind of a little bit of disclaimer. I'm not always the easiest mom when it comes to injury. So my kids know, have you iced it? Have you taken some ibuprofen if you need it? Have you waited 24 hours? And then you come tell me if you have an issue or a problem. Because I deal with it all day. And sometimes just being an athlete, you're going to have little minor injuries and things. But Caroline had been kind of having a little bit of a shoulder issue for a couple of years. And yes, I said couple of years. It was pain that she was playing through. We were trying to do some basic rehab stuff and using some K-tape and trying some different modalities and strengthening and all of that. But, finally the instinct kind of kicked in, and I could tell she was really struggling because she's not one to complain a whole lot. And I could tell her mannerisms on the court and all that. So we just went and had her shoulder MRI'd, and, it indicated a couple of things that warranted surgery. But the doctor was like, we don't have to do this right away, Caroline. Just when you start losing power in your hitting, or you start having more pain than what you want to play through, then, I'm ready to try to fix your shoulder if that's what we need to do. So she made it about halfway through that season last year. And, Jay, if you were looking at her stats and you saw all those swings and kills that she was getting, the shoulder really kind of started to act up a little bit more. And so she decided that it was time after her junior season to go ahead and maybe have it looked at and fixed if it was necessary. And because she really wanted to be able to give everything her senior year to her team and to her town. And she didn't want to leave anything to question or chance that what if I, was playing without pain. And so we were really glad that we did that. And we worked through that shoulder rehab, and she was a great patient, probably the best patient that she's been for me. But I think she just had such high intrinsic motivation that she wanted to She's got some goals this year that she really wants to achieve for her team. She talked about how great the district championship win was, and she would love to have that feeling again as a senior. And she wanted to know that she was healthy 100% and ready to go. So
that Caroline, that was probably pretty good having mom, right? I mean, even though she was like, "Come on, buck up, let's go," right?
Oh yeah. Oh, yes, I was her favorite patient. She won't admit it, but I was.
So how tough was that for you in getting back to the level of play that you were used to?
Yeah, so I think it was definitely more of a challenge mentally on me than it was physically, I think. My body's gonna be ready when it's ready, but not knowing when it's gonna be ready, just having to wait it out, wait it out. One of the most common things that you see with athletes are them coming back way too soon. So I had not only my mom, but my dad too, and all my coaches telling me, don't come back too soon, don't come back too soon, take your time, make sure you're rehabbing, make sure it's okay before you just come in, you know, too fast. And so I think with all of that guidance, I was able to, actually take my time, make sure that I was ready, and then get back into the swing of things.
Very good.
Can I add something, Jay?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
So I have to tell a funny on myself, but when Caroline kind of went for her final, release to play, and I said, now he might want you to just gradually ease back into playing, and so don't be surprised, whatever. And so at the end of the appointment, I said, now, what should she do? Should she ease back into playing? And he was like, Jessica, she's an athlete. Just let her go play. And Caroline, the look she gave me was just kind of like, you think you know it all, Mom, but you don't. But I don't think that the doctor knew she was headed straight to a summer volleyball tournament to play like 4 games that day. But it was so good, and just like my heart was just filled with joy to see her back out on the court again.
I mean, I know
that is awesome. Caroline, isn't it a victory when it turns out your parents might be a little wrong about something? Doesn't that make
Oh,
you feel
yes.
good?
Yeah, when
I'm
your
looking at
parent
my
and
dad
your
up there
physical
right
therapist
now.
is wrong.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Man, so Caroline, I kind of want to hear more, like, now that you've gone through that, you've experienced that pain, like with the shoulder, is there stuff now like you can do to like have preventative measures to make it where that injury won't come back?
Yeah, so I mean, lots of strengthening we've done. I started actually having pain the beginning of my freshman year volleyball season. So, from the get-go, like we were strengthening, we were trying to rehab, doing everything to stop it from getting worse. And so now I know how worse it can get. And, you don't want to get back there. So strengthening everything, not just my shoulders, but my ankles, my arms, my legs, every preventive measure, stretching, anything like that you can do, we've been doing. So,
that's I mean, you don't want to be out. I mean, your competitive nature, you want to get out there and you want to be going, and
right.
and I know it's hard for mom to sit there and she knows that something's not right, but also she's trying to push. And I want to just bring up somebody that made a comment here real quick that Jay needs to hear this, so I'm just going to pull it up here real quick. His mom says Jay has never experienced his mama being wrong, and
Never.
so I think it was probably a pretty big shock, for you, Caroline, when your mom was not 100% right. I mean, she was still there because she's mom, and because like my mom, who's on here again, it was always because I said so, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if anybody else ever heard that, but I did. All right, go ahead, Jay.
Jessica, so you work with a lot of student athletes, and you have a lot of great success stories. what do you recommend for an athlete that wants to do things the right way when it comes to training their body?
So I think the biggest thing is listening to your body first and foremost, and respecting, especially young athletes, that they're going to go through some different developmental stages. You know, there's going to be periods when they're going through tremendous growth. And so stretching, flexibility, joint mobility really have to be at the forefront over strengthening and power training and things like that. Working with a good strength coach. If I could wish one thing for I guess technically two things for all of our high schools locally, is that they would all have an athletic trainer on staff. And I wish that every athletic program at high school had a strength and conditioning specialist on staff, just to kind of help protect these young athletes. I think most of the athletes that I see, they had injuries that some were unavoidable. You know, it's just part of being an athlete. You're going to have some injuries. But it was interesting the number of injuries that we saw after this COVID break, if you will, where athletes were taking time off and then trying to get back fast. And I think their bodies just weren't ready or able to handle the stress and the load that was putting on them. But I think just working with your coaches, your sport coaches, working with your athletic trainer if you have that at school, and really understanding the weight room and how to properly use that is really, really important.
It's so different today than what it was when I was growing up. I mean, wow, some of these weight rooms that, you know, these student athletes have available to them. Nice. So kudos. Take advantage of that, Caroline. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of your mother just pouring into you and telling you all that good stuff. And that's
She's
great.
full of information.
So one of the things that is maybe an advantage and disadvantage at both times, but I am a physical therapist, but I'm also a sports dietitian. And so I really hound the nutrition aspect of athletics and making sure you're eating enough and eating good foods and staying hydrated. And, you know, the one thing my kids always say is, why do you have to be the healthy mom? And someday I hope they appreciate that, but I do get a lot of flack about it right now. So, you know, that's why my husband and I are such a good balance here in this household.
That's great. Hey, Judge Cotton Walker said, great advice to have athletic trainers with all the programs. Good luck to Caroline this season. So,
Awesome.
Cotton Walker, he's an awesome man. So, thanks for joining us tonight. All right, boy, we flew through that segment, and now we are going to have our next sponsor, as well as commercial right before that. So here we go with our next break.
Light in the darkness, redemption inside the walls with Aaron Schuss. A powerful evening of hope and healing. Saturday, August 28th at the Jefferson City Jaycees Fairgrounds. Doors open with special events at 5 p.m. Concert at 7:30. Tickets for Aaron Schuss are on sale now. RedemptionInsideTheWalls.eventbrite.com. Find out more at RedemptionInsideTheWalls.com.
Isn't Aaron Schuss amazing? I can't wait for his ministry and music August 28th at the Redemption Inside the Walls concert. Come join us and renew your soul. If you do not know our Lord and Savior, He is calling you. Come learn the love that God has for you. Hi, I'm Paula Benny with CNS Business Services. Right now, businesses are desperately needing workers to fill positions during this peak time. Whether you are looking for full, part-time, or remote, or flex hours, we have an abundance of labor, clerical, and professional positions. Give CNS a call today. My personal song favorite from Aaron is My Savior, My God. I can't wait. Thank you.
Guys, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate CNS Business Services and how hard those people work over there. I mean, they're putting together the silent auction that's out there at the concert. You should see they have their rooms filled with items that people are bringing in and donating for the silent auction. On top of all the work that they do, making the phone calls, getting sponsors, all the different things that they do, on top of running a business, trying to find people jobs throughout mid-Missouri. Wow. I just appreciate Paula and her entire team, and thank you guys so much for being our sponsor and bringing on awesome people like Caroline and Jessica Beckmann. I didn't have any smoke, but there you go, Jay.
That was good. That was real good. All right. So for anyone who's just now tuning in, we do have an awesome all-star athlete with us, Miss Caroline Beckman, and I kind of talked about her accolades earlier, and I want to highlight them again. So on top of her all-district, all-conference, and all-state honors, she was also named the most outstanding player of the Tri-County Conference, and then she also got nationally recognized by the ABCA and also by the by Prep Volleyball. And so, Caroline, talk about those accolades. What do they mean to you, and how much of an honor was it?
Oh my gosh. Whenever you get things like this, it's almost seems too good to be true. I'm from a small town in Missouri, so to think that I'm being recognized on like a national level is very odd to think about. I'm used to seeing myself in the town newspaper, but not on these all-American lists and stuff like that. So just to be thought of recommended for that is such an honor to me. Obviously, I would not be able to get any of those achievements that I have without great coaches, supportive teammates, and obviously my family and all of the fans that come and support. So, yeah, it's awesome to think that me from little Eldon, Missouri, was able to accomplish so much in, my first 3 years of high school. And I'm so excited that I have another year to do even more.
Speaking of having a great support and people that help you do that, I'm just going to do a quick shout out to Jay for all the great support and hard work he does with this program. He makes it fun, and I just kind of just let him go. I know that's a little scary for some people, but I just let him go.
Boy, my mom's probably just freaking out that you said you let me go. But look,
Yeah.
Mom, I can fly. Okay, I can fly. Caroline, you brought up something that was fantastic, and I enjoy talking with you. You're a very humble person, and you brought up your coaches and other people who have helped you along the way. And you actually have a new coach coming in this year. Talk about that, and what kind of excitement that brings for you.
Yeah, so I mean, anytime you get a new coach, that first transition, those first couple weeks are hard, learning their coaching style, how they want you to play. I always tell people volleyball is a sport that there's a million different ways that you can pass the ball. That's right. There's a million different ways that you can do so many skills that one coach thinks right and the other might think is wrong. So just learning her game, how she wants us to learn and develop, um, has been fun getting to know her these past couple weeks. We have our first jamboree tomorrow night at Eldon. So, we're excited to come out and not only show her like this is the team that we have and this is what we can do, but to show everyone else, this is the hard work that we've put in so far. But yeah, it's been fun getting to know a new coach. Like I said, it is challenging always getting into those first couple weeks, but now that those are over and we're getting comfortable with her, it's been a lot of fun. We should have a good season.
I think that going along with that, I know you also had a lot of great appreciation for your prior coaches too. So why don't you just share real quickly about that?
Yeah, I love Minnow. I can't even, words can't describe how much I loved her, and not, not a single person had anything bad to say in Eldon when she left. It's unfortunate that she couldn't coach another year, but, things happen and you can't always change it. So, we're welcoming our new coach in with open arms and just wanting her to get to know us and show her what we can do. But yeah, she's one of the best coaches, not just on the court, but just life lessons. I know along with so many other girls, would just go and sit in her office some days during school and just talk about our day, talk about life. She gave me a very good piece of advice once, and it was only date lawyers and doctors. And that will forever remain in my heart. Not even about volleyball. She just told me date lawyers and doctors. So yeah, she's just such a good coach, such a good person. And I've had so many people stop and ask about her, like you could just tell how much she cared about not only us as a team and about how we were winning, but how we were doing personally. What our home lives were like, what our school lives were like, making sure that everyone felt like they had a place, not just on our team, but just in the school district. She was just an amazing person to have there, and we really missed her.
I wanted to make sure that we caught your mom's face after you said who it was to date and everything, and that was priceless. I think we ought to add in there that the one thing that Coach missed out on is also somebody that owns their own business like sports courts. I mean, that would be a good person to date as well. So that's good. Jessica, what are you most excited about concerning Caroline as your daughter and her future?
So, I really don't have any concerns. I am excited to continue to watch her become the young woman that I know that she's going to be, and just continuing to seek God's purpose in her life. And we talk about that a lot, that, just seeking his will and living your best life for him, and your life will turn out just like it's supposed to. She's really busy looking at colleges and trying to find the right fit for her academically. She is very interested in pursuing athletics at the next level. And so just walking through those details with her, and I told her, you just have to have one school that is your match, and, that fits your personality and what you want to do. And she has such a great heart and such a great head that she's going to go far, and she's going to do great things. And I couldn't be prouder to say that she's my daughter. So I love you.
That's awesome. Very good. Don't make me cry. I'm going to stop.
Oh, sorry. We
That's
started
good.
the first day of our senior year today, so.
Yeah, it's emotional.
Emotions are high.
Yes.
Speaking of emotions being high, what about your brother? I mean, I've heard he's a little bit concerned about where you might be going.
Oh, yes. Oh, me and my brother are we're best friends. I love my brother so much. He started his first day of freshman year today, and everyone's freaking out because I'm a senior, and I'm like, but he's a freshman. He's going to be driving in a couple months. Like, let's talk about that. No, he's actually got a birthday tomorrow. So, but yeah, he's crazy supportive. I know wherever I go, he'll follow along and support me, whatever I do. I do remember I got some interest from a coach in Rhode Island one time, and he's like, no, that is so far, He's like, he sat me down, pulled me into a separate room. I was like, you're not going there, right? And I'm like, but it was just we're just talking to a coach, it's fine, but I know if I go to the beach, he'll be fine. If I go to Florida and I'm living on the beach, he'll follow right along.
He'll be okay. All right.
He'll love me then.
I'm kind of getting the image of him like the little brother on The Blind Side, talking to the college coaches and stuff, and taking the calls from Nick Saban and those guys. What do you got for me?
Right.
That's awesome. Good. All right, Jay, go ahead.
Oh, Caroline, we've talked so much about volleyball. I touched on track a little bit earlier. I'd love for you to talk about track and all of the success that you've had in that sport as well.
Yes, so track. Oh, switch my mind over to track. I love track. I love our track team. Track in Eldon is it's just it's unlike any other sport that I think I've ever been a part of, any other team. Our coaches focus so much on being family oriented, supporting each other. It's crazy whenever you go to a big meet and you think no one's paying attention to you, but your jump coach, and you turn around and everyone that's not in an event, boys and girls, are standing there watching you and cheering you on. There's no better feeling than, knowing that your teammates, your classmates, are supporting you. And so that's definitely something that's pushed so much in Eldon, girls and boys side both. Um, so for track, like I said, that environment is so fun to be around. It's such a good environment. We are truly a family. Whenever you go to track practice, everyone is just made to feel loved there. And I think that's why I was able to have so much success, is because I was confident in myself, because my coaches and my teammates were also confident in me, and they were able to push me and, really just told me, you can do it, we know you can. So I mean, I know I would not be doing anything without those coaches and those teammates here. So
that makes a big difference. That makes a huge difference as far as having the right people around you. And
yes.
I'm gonna let Jay ask you one more question, and then I'm gonna surprise your mom with one other question that's not on our sheet. So I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's gonna be easy, I promise. But go ahead, Jay.
Boy, you should have saw her face when you said
did.
that. Like she froze up, was like, "Oh, my camera's glitching. I can't hear you or see you. No hablo inglés," and hang up. I was just waiting for it. All right, don't be nervous, Jessica. He's pretty
It's
gentle.
easy.
Pretty
It's
gentle.
easy.
It's easy. Caroline. So last question here. You have some pretty specific ideas on what your future looks like. Probably some lawyers and doctors in the mix. Anyways, tell us
sports
about your goals.
Sports court owners.
Yeah, there you go. Tell us about goals that you have in the coming years.
Yeah, so obviously it's my senior year. Woohoo! So excited. I just am so ready to go out and explore new things, new paths. Obviously I have to get through senior year first. I've got a lot of things volleyball wise I'm wanting to accomplish. I'm hoping that the team and I can pull out another district win. That'd be awesome. As far as track goes, just making it to that state meet. There was actually a running joke after my freshman year of track that since I had those 4 state medals my freshman year, my goal was to get 16 medals in 4 years. So medal 4 times, all 4 years of high school. And then obviously my sophomore year, COVID. So there was no track at all. So that cut that down by 4, so I could get 12 state medals in 4 years. And then last year I had an injury on my ankle, and so wasn't able to compete in districts. So now the new goal is 8 in 4 years. So that's a big goal going through my senior year. As far as after that, I'm still pretty open. I get asked all the time, well, what's your favorite, track or volleyball? And I'm like, I can't pick. I love them both. So as of right now, I'm pretty open-minded of whether I'm going to do one or the other in college, obviously. But as far as college goes, I'm really looking into actually going into orthodontics. So I will be doing a lot of school. So my goal is to actually pick a school more for the academic side first, and then see if I fit into their program. But obviously I would love more than anything to be able to do either track or volleyball after this last senior year.
Well, you said exactly the right thing. Exactly the right thing.
She's going to be the doctor, so she doesn't need to marry the doctor.
She doesn't need to marry the doctor.
That's what I was hearing too. I was going to say that. I thought you heard that, coach, and you said, I'm just going to become the doctor so I can marry whoever I want.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's right.
I love it.
That was great. Caroline, you've done an awesome job. We've really enjoyed having you on here, and
Well,
Jessica,
thank you
we've
so much.
loved having you on here too. And I want you to share real quick about what it's like as a family, seeing your kids go through the Eldon school system, and just that whole Mustang pride and everything that goes along with that. Just tell us about the community and what you appreciate about it.
Sure. So I'm pretty biased when it comes to that because I was born and raised here. I was a graduate of Eldon High School, and I know she gives her Aunt Reagan a lot of credit for that volleyball, but I was on the first 4 teams to go to state in volleyball here in Eldon. So maybe there's a little bit that comes from me, but I am very, very proud of this community in general. Sometimes small towns, don't have all the resources, and maybe we, are lacking here and there. But our administration here has really tried to do good by the student athletes and making sure we have good facilities. And Caroline's gone through some adversity as a student athlete. This is her third volleyball coach while she's been here. But that's what life is about. There's a lot of change in life, and you've got to be able to go with the punches and roll with it. And I think she's doing a good job there. But the community is what really rallies around this school district. And I think Caroline mentioned in her article what a great thing it is that we have such a strong community, and that sports at Eldon really allows the community to come together and do something great things. So a lot of Mustang pride in this household. And I did have to convert my husband because he was a Versailles Tiger growing up. So, but
Okay.
I got him over to the Mustang side.
There you go. Well, yeah, you guys are in Eldon, so that pretty much says it all right there, right?
That's right.
Well, hey, again, thank you guys so much for being on here tonight. If you can hold on as I let Jay have the final word. Speaking of adversity, that's kind of what we deal with here. So I'm going to let him have the final word, and we'll close out the program, and then we'll come back and visit with you real quick. So, again, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right. Wow, that was fun.
Oh man, that was a blast. You're always so funny. You said speaking of adversity. There's no adversity between
No,
us. Like,
there's
come
none.
on.
There's none.
Come on.
I just got to make it seem
man.
like there is.
Oh man, One Nation. This was so much fun. Getting to sit down and talk with Caroline and her mom Jessica. Just such great people. I feel smarter just talking to both of them. You can just tell the brain power between those two. Put them in the White House. Let's solve some problems around the world. You know what I'm saying?
See, there's the adversity.
Come on, man.
There's the adversity. You've never said that about me. That's okay. Just move right on from that.
No, they're just awesome people. And so, One Nation, this is why we asked you guys to, like our page, subscribe, comment, so we can keep bringing you guys great content every week. Caroline, this was such a pleasure. You have had an amazing high school career, and through all of the adversity that you have faced with injury, with coaching changes, you girls pushed through, and you guys have just done an amazing thing. Especially winning that district championship last year. And I'm hearing your mom talk about this injury, and I looked at all those stats. I didn't see it anywhere. No. There are tournaments where you have 60 plus kills, and I'm just like, this is insane. You did that with a hurt shoulder. So I'm super glad that you're pain free. Shoulder feels good. Can't wait to see what you accomplish this year and what your future holds. So just hang in there, keep going. I know you're excited to move on to that next phase in your life, but enjoy this senior year and just soak it up, because you will love the memories that you gained from this. And then Jessica, thank you for coming on. You did a fantastic job. Even with those extra questions Kirk threw at you, you are a pro. You're better than me. So, come on. You are a natural. So thank you so much for all you do for the community and for the student athletes. You do a fantastic job. So anyways, One Nation. This is One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra, and I'm your co-host, Jay Gill. I love you guys. Have an awesome week, and God bless.
I'm going to quickly add, Jay's pretty excited about next week, too, because you're talking about what?
We're talking about fantasy football next week. If you need some tips, ideas, a little bit of sleepers, are you thinking, who can I draft late who's going to score me some points? Join me and one of my best buds, Ryan Olson, as we dissect fantasy football for you. It's going to be a blast.
All right. I thought I'd let you have that plug because I know you were excited about that too. So, hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. God bless you. Have a great week, and hopefully I'll see you out at Redemption Inside the Walls with Aaron Schust. Have a good night.